The following is a 5 for 2 production. And now, virtually live from somewhere in America, it's the show you love. It's What the Hell Was That?
Hello, America, and welcome back to another fantastic episode of What the Hell Was That? I'm your host, Todd Baker, and with me, as always, is my best friend and producer of 30 years, Mr. Kevin Monavon. Kevin, how you doing?
How you doing, Todd?
I can't hear you very well with these goddamn masks on.
I guess they're required in Ohio, or they're not required, or I don't know. So I just wear one everywhere.
Oh, fuck this shit. You know what? I refuse to let this invisible enemy restrict my constitutional right to drink a beer in the privacy and security of my own home. This is ridiculous. I'm just glad to be back on the air after 20 years of being off the air on public access television. And some may ask, well, Todd, why return now after 20 years? Well, I'm unemployed for one thing, which, plus our so-called president has fucked things up so badly that I felt the need to speak out. America needs me more than ever. And for those who have never seen this program, I'll give you a little bit of a history. It originally started back in 1993. I started doing comedy in Columbus, Ohio in 93. And then in January of 94, discovered the wonderfulness of, public access television. This is, of course, for you kiddies out there, back before the internet. It was still called the World Wide Web back then. Cell phones were still the size of walkie-talkies, and no such thing as social media. Hell, MTV was still playing music with white people. And it's basically what we Generation Xers call the good old days. So, I was doing the show in 94. I thought it was going well. I felt so confident that I decided to move to California, follow my dreams out there, and see how it went. Well, after blowing $60,000 on my credit cards, which I had no intention of spending back, I ended up moving to New Orleans and drinking myself silly for another year. Moved back to my parents' house in Pennsylvania in 97. Stayed about a year with them till I couldn't stand that anymore. Moved back to Columbus. Lived with Kevin for a summer in 98. Couch surfing. Forced pro wrestling watching. God bless you, Kevin, for putting me up. Found my own place. Stayed for about a year till that got fucked up. Got evicted. Moved back to my parents' house in end of 99. Moved back to Ohio in 2000 for the summer with my cousin Dennis. Summer of hell, I refer to it as. Moved back to my parents' house in Pennsylvania at the end of 2000. Stayed with them for 4 years. Went back to Columbus in 2004. Lived with my buddy Bram for a couple years and my Aunt Linda for a couple. Moved to Georgia in 2008 to finish my first novel, Ticket Stubs, available now on lulu.com. Stayed there till I broke up with her, end of 2009. Moved back with my parents in Pennsylvania in 2010. Stayed with them until they sold the house in Pennsylvania and moved to Florida in 2012. Stayed with them in Florida from 2012 to 2014. Moved back to Ohio one more time, 2014, lived with Kevin again. got another apartment, stayed another 2 years, went through 6 jobs. 2 years later, back to mom and dad's house in Florida in 2016. Folks, I have lived with my parents 6 times since I graduated college. All right. That may explain why I'm still single, never been married, and have no children. So, I've got enough problems of my own, folks. I don't need to bring other people into my situation. That's just cruel. So now I live here with mom and dad in the Villages, Florida. Lovely area. If you've never heard of it, it's 150,000 retirees and growing like a weed every day. 98% Republican, mostly Trump supporters. Highest STD rate in America, folks. That's no joke. These people aren't just spreading the coronavirus down here. I'll tell you that. They got happy hour from 11 in the morning till 6 at night. They got dancing on the public squares from 5 till 9 with every goddamn kind of cover band you can imagine. They got golf courses, 47 golf courses. They got community rec centers. They got public pools every 300 feet, gyms, movie theaters, churches, shooting ranges. You got yahoos lining up at 10 a.m. on a Sunday to go shoot their gun off. Go figure. You name it, they got it down here, folks. And I tell you, we have golf cart lanes. You can get anywhere down here in a 15-mile radius without even having a driver's license. How my parents ended up here down here, I don't know. I can't figure it out. They don't drink. They don't play golf. Barely socialize. Hell, they probably haven't had sex since my sister was conceived. And we had 2 pets named Carter and Clinton growing up as a kid, if that tells you anything about our family, politically. Trump is definitely not our president. I'll tell you that. As far as how life is going right now, my daily routine is pretty simple. Up until a little while ago, I just waited tables for a living. 10-minute drive to work, 15 if you had to drive the golf cart. No traffic. I don't have traffic anymore. I pay mom and dad $500 a month to stay in the guest room. No one stayed in this goddamn room in 3 years anyhow, unless, my sister and her family come in for Christmas. I give mom and dad another $100 to use the car. My car died 2 years ago. And in honesty, I don't even need a car down here, Kev. The only place I go is the gas station and the grocery store. That's it. If I want to travel out of state, go visit New Orleans or Georgia or back to Ohio or Pennsylvania, we got plenty of cheap flights from Orlando and lots of rental cars, man. It's easy. Now, for those snot-nosed Republicans chomping at the bit to mock a man my age for still living with his parents, let me make 2 points. First of all, I don't live in their basement. It's Florida. We don't have basements, asshole. Secondly, are you giving your parents $600 a month to help them out? No? Well, then go have a big bite of my shut the fuck up sandwich and mind your own goddamn business. I work maybe 30 hours a week tops, and usually don't even start till 4:45. So I wake up around noon, crack a beer, buy some smokes, eat lunch, maybe, and go to work. If I have to be there in the morning at like 10 a.m., I get a nice long hour break, between like 3 and 4. Go home, chug a couple more beers, go back to work. It's a pretty easy schedule down here. Even on my days off, all I got to do is do some chores for mom and dad. Do a little laundry, take out the garbage, mop the floors, do the dishes, wash the car, repeat. Basically, it's like I'm 17 all over again. I just don't get an allowance anymore. So, that's the only difference, really. On the downside, I got no friends, especially my age, let alone any potential relationships. I can't smoke in the house, so I do have to go out in the garage, which is my man cave. You're seeing me in a rare situation here, Kev. I'm actually wearing a shirt Normally, I don't wear shirts, shoes, socks, nothing. Yet I'm the palest goddamn Floridian you'll ever see. I'll tell you that. I can't figure it out. On a personal note, I haven't been in a relationship in 10 years, and sex is a distant memory. I do have a cat named Rocky, named after the picture show, not after the Stallone movie. He keeps me company. We've got some wacky neighbors here as well. So really, Kevin, this could be a sitcom. I'm telling you right now. Life in the Villages could be a half-hour TV episode all of its own. So that being said, let's get to tonight's main topic, which is coronavirus. Yes, we are all indeed facing this horrible pandemic right now. As of March 12th, I think we were at about 100 deaths. As of May 1st, 65,000. Yeah! Hey, Donald Trump, what happened to opening by Easter, dipshit? I personally don't think you're doing a 10 out of 10 job here, buddy. Sorry. We've gone from 100 deaths to 10,000 deaths to 20,000 deaths on Easter, 40,000 deaths the next week, 50,000 deaths the week after that, and we're currently at 65,000. At this rate, we should be at 100,000 deaths by Memorial Day. How appropriate. So, fantastic. Now, folks, there are pros and cons to this situation. Number one con, obviously, to the coronavirus is death. Yes, you could possibly die from this, especially if you're an older person like my mom and dad and have cancer like my mom and dad. So, for those of you out there who are concerned about getting this virus, for Christ's sake, stay indoors. Now, even worse than dying, second number two con would be losing a loved one. Hey, you're dead. You're in the ground. You ain't got nothing to worry about anymore. But your loved ones are the ones that have to deal with this after you are gone. And more than likely, they didn't get a chance to say goodbye. They didn't get a chance to give you a proper funeral. Didn't even get a chance to give you a hug. Now, that's got to be a pretty big negative, folks. Besides that, there are millions of people out there in America who have lost their jobs or have gotten furloughed. Unfortunately, for those out there who have lost their jobs, there is one little silver lining. Because of this pandemic, we have caused a huge economic crush in this country, which scares the shit out of Donald Trump and every single Republican in the Congress. So the Republicans are now doing the one thing that they hate doing the most. You know what that is, folks? That's giving money to poor people. Yes, indeed. They're finally actually having to pay out to the 98% of us who aren't making $1 million a year. And that also probably explains why the neediest Americans are still waiting for Donald Dumbfuck to give them their goddamn relief check. And I got my little letter from Donnie today. And I don't know if you can see that or not. It's from the White House. And it's signed by Donald fucking dumbass himself. Dude, how many fucking dollars did we waste sending this goddamn letter out? How many extra $1,200 checks could you have sent, Donnie, by keeping your fucking fat ass ego in check? Fuck you. I tell you what, folks, I'm pissed off. I got my $1,200 check. I am one of the lucky ones. I got that $1,200 bonus, and guess what? I spent it in a goddamn day. $500 for my June rent. Spent $500 to pay off my credit card. $150 to cover my April's bills, and $50 for a bag of weed. $1,200 said and done. Well, now I'm just waiting on unemployment, which could be a really long wait, especially if you live in the state of Florida like I do. You know, apparently Rick Scott, our previous governor and now senator, set up an unemployment program that was so fucked up it was doomed to fail. Thanks, Rick. And, you know, I think that was this guy's plan in the first place. Basically, string out the poor people long enough to force them to go back to their shitty jobs before they got any benefits from the government whatsoever. Now we've got Ron DeSantis as our current governor here in Florida. And if you know anything about little Ronnie, you know that he has his head firmly planted up Donald Trump's ass. I mean, between Ron DeSantis, little Marco Rubio, and that bald-headed freak Rick Scott, the state of Florida is being run by the goddamn Three Stooges. Except these assholes aren't funny. You know, but I bet they get their paychecks. I bet little Ronnie's getting his money. I bet little Ricky's getting his money. I bet little Marco's getting his money. Pay us our fucking money! You know, this is ridiculous, folks. I have spent the last 6 weeks struggling with the unemployment system here in Florida. You can't get through to them on the phone. You can't get through to them via the email. They shut down their system for 8 hours a goddamn day so they can improve it. Folks, you know, I have gotten 4 weeks of payment, and I'm going on week 7. And now I'm still waiting for that extra $600 bonus that we're supposed to be getting. I've gotten one $600 bonus. Where's the other 4, assholes? You know, folks, you are making your money there in the Congress. You are even at work right now in Congress. And you dumb motherfuckers get a lifetime pension. Pay us our fucking money. Now, furthermore, when it comes to cons of this situation, we've got social distancing. Which is really fine by me. I don't get close to that many people down here anyhow, except for the morons walking back and forth in front of our house, walking their dogs. Aside from mom, dad, and the cat, and the people I have to deal with at work, I'm pretty much socially distancing myself voluntarily anyhow. However, I do have a feeling the opioid crisis is going to be going up here in a couple months, folks. For all those junkies sitting at home trying to stay clean, it's not going to be an easy gig for them, folks. So we're going to have more of a problem than just the opioid situation when we get this thing said and done. Another con, wearing a mask. Dude, this thing, it's a pain in the ass. And we don't even know if it's scientifically effective, for crying out loud. Although I do have to admit it's probably better than injecting Lysol or drinking Drano. However, for all those Trump-loving, flag-waving Americans out there, may I suggest you take the Tide Pod Challenge and see how it turns out, okay? Because, in my opinion, the only good Republican is a dead Republican. Another con, toilet paper. Why the hell is toilet paper so goddamn difficult? It's not like this gives you the runs. Who the hell decided that toilet paper had to suddenly run off the shelves? Folks, you know, it took me 3 weeks to find a good 16-pack of toilet paper. That's ridiculous. In this God-loving, free market, capitalistic America, we should at least be able to wipe our ass. You know, my folks were freaking out for the first couple weeks. You know, they kept telling me, keep going to the store, keep looking for toilet paper. It was a ridiculous prospect. Finally, after 2 weeks of searching, I came home with a big pack of toilet paper. I was so excited. Dad was on the phone talking to my sister with FaceTime, and I just had to announce my joy. I said, Lee, look at this. I've got toilet paper. We can shit for weeks. Unfortunately, she had the phone on speaker with the kids in the back of the car. So you can now guess what my nieces and nephews' favorite motto is. So that's another con right there. You know, another con is I can't call my senators. These assholes aren't even at work right now. They don't even have some Yahoo answering their phone, you know, in their Tampa office, in their Orlando office. Can't get a hold of them in DC. Get back to work, motherfuckers. You're getting a lifetime pension. Now, folks, if this isn't wasteful government spending, I don't know what is. And Kevin, on a personal note, the biggest con of this entire thing right now is the fact that we can't go to a rock concert. There's no sporting events. What the hell is going to happen in September and August when we can't watch fucking college football? I'm going to be pissed, folks. Look.
The entire city of Columbus, Ohio is going to be suicidal.
Kevin finally back checked it. I thought you fell asleep for a second, buddy.
I'm just rolling off camera so you can't see what I'm doing.
I know for a fact that you're even more bummed out about concerts being canceled because I only see maybe 5, 10 a year if I'm lucky these days. You're still seeing 60 a year, for crying out loud. What the hell are you doing with your time?
Watching a lot of DVDs.
I can imagine. Now, there are some pros to this situation. There are some positive things that I think we should keep in mind. First of all, free time. Free time. I don't have to go to work. I don't have to go to school. Dude, folks, time is no longer relevant. I can be up watching TV at 6 in the morning. I don't give a right. I can start a movie at 6 in the morning. It does not matter. I don't have to go to work tomorrow. Read a book. Play with your kids. Get a tan. If you're lucky enough, fuck somebody. You know that person that's been lying next to you for the last couple decades? Give them a thrill. You know, surprise them with a little nookie in the afternoon, for crying out loud. You know, these are the things that you can look forward to by not having to leave your home. Secondly, the phone. Yay, the phone. You can catch up with your friends. You can talk to people that you haven't talked to in a long damn time. Kevin, I actually got Bram on the phone. And if anyone knows my best friend Bram, they know that is nearly as possible as getting Jesus to come back. So, you know, the fact that I am able to once again connect with people that I love makes this situation a little bit better. Another positive thing, cheap gas. We got gas under $2 a gallon, folks. You know, those Saudi Arabian motherfuckers can go suck my ass. You know, we are not paying $4 a gallon ever again, you dumb motherfuckers. We're going to figure out solar, wind, or goddamn hemp at this point because I am not going to pay $4 again for fucking gasoline. Another positive, and again, this may be positive, this may be negative, I'm not going to work. Kevin, I know that you miss work. I know that you miss the camaraderie of the people in the office and the chit-chat at the water cooler and the fact that you're away from your girlfriend for a couple hours a day. You know, I can appreciate that. But for someone like me, I don't like 3/4 of those assholes I work with anyhow. I'm not missing a goddamn thing here, people. You know? Why does anyone want to go back to work? For all those assholes out there who want to open the economy and get America working again, let me make a suggestion, and I think you should lead by example. By that, I mean return to the nearest street corner and go suck a cock for America. You know, these Republican governors who want to say we're open for business. Folks, we don't need bowling alleys open right now. If you need your hair and nails done so badly, bitch, you're still gonna be ugly. All right? You know, pro wrestling, Kevin, is not a necessity. I realize that it's something you enjoy. I realize it's something you care about. Please tell me your opinion of pro wrestling in the days of the pandemic.
I actually agree with you. It's definitely not an essential business in pro wrestling without an audience. I don't know if you've watched it, but it really sucks. So,
My one question for Ron DeSantis is, hey Ronnie, how does Vince McMahon's dick taste? Asshole. You know, and now for these douchebags in Michigan that are clogging up the streets protesting their right to go to the hairdresser and bowling alley. Fuck you. Do your Trump-loving assholes realize you're blocking the fucking hospital? Get the fuck out of the way. I'd be really pissed if it was my loved one who died because of you yammering yahoos preventing my doctor or nurse from getting to fucking work on time and saving my loved ones' lives. You dummies deserve to die. I hope every one of you gun-loving, flag-waving, abortion-hanging it-holes are fucking get the virus and send it to your goddamn family. And now, me personally, I work in a restaurant. I think restaurants should stay closed for at least another month. And to be honest, I'm glad I don't have to go back to this restaurant because I was burned out. Matter of fact, I want a new job. I want a better job. I hated that place anyway. I'm not going back. Fuck it. I've got enough unemployment money right now to last me through July. And if I get a few more checks, that'll take me to August and September. Fuck it. Folks, take this unemployment money, quit your job, improve your lives. As far as these other Republican idiot conspiracy theories go, I've heard literally people say that Bill Gates is responsible for this pandemic because he's going to make money if they come up with some sort of solution for it. I've heard people say this is all a hoax and the death numbers are really just people dying and their hospitals are charging it off to coronavirus so they can get more federal money. Hell, I've heard people say that Trump is actually doing this just for his own personal benefits, which actually I could believe. Now think about it, folks. The majority of people dying from this virus are blacks and Latinos. Now, I personally think this thing came from China, but you never know. Killing blacks and Latinos sounds like something Republicans would do. Donald Trump is a lying, cheating scumbag. And that's a fact, folks. We've already caught him in over 12,000 lies since taking office, including my personal favorite, I'm going to release my taxes. Yeah, when, Donnie? When? It's been 4 fucking years. You're the only president in the history of the last 40 years that hasn't had the balls to do it. We know he's a cheater. Ask all 3 of his wives, including that last European whore, that immigrant motherfucker, dirty slut. Folks, what else do you call a woman who takes her clothes off for money? She's a whore. She's a whore. But yet this dumb bitch is going to get her lifetime pension too. And we know he's a scumbag because only a scumbag would be accused of molesting over 17 women. 17 women have accused this man of sexual harassment. Now, I realize little sleepy Biden's got his own issues right now, but that's one accusation. Don's got 17. In fact, I'll go one further. Donald Trump is a pussy-grabbing baby rapist. Yeah, you heard me. Pussy-grabbing baby rapist. We know he's a pussy grabber. We got him on camera saying it. And as far as baby rapist, well, that may sound a little extreme. However, Donald Trump was accused of raping a 12-year-old girl. Now, just an accusation, can't prove it's true. This is still America where, you are innocent until proven guilty. But let me ask you this, folks. If your next door neighbor was accused of raping a 12-year-old girl, I guarantee he wouldn't have an invite to this year's 4th of July picnic. Okay? So, for the last few weeks, little Donnie has slowed down on his daily briefings. For 4 years, this dummy never had a press conference. Now, all of a sudden, he's got a new hour-long special television program every goddamn day. But I guess he doesn't like answering mean questions. He has better things to do. Personally, I think finally someone just whispered in his ear and said, maybe you shouldn't talk so much. Then he fired them. So now he's back on TV every day like it's his own personal reality show. Well, you reap what you sow, people. Remember, you elected him, okay? And, you and Vladimir Putin. So, folks, this has been Reverend Todd Baker's What the Hell Was That? And we'll have the Reverend back on sometime soon. In the meantime, I got Rocky the Cat. We're loving life. Everything's good here in Florida. And tune in next week when I show you all around the lovely Villages, Florida. Until next time, America, stay safe, stay sane, and for Christ's sake, stay home.